Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we explore all things about Islam, especially for those who are new to it or just curious. Today, we're tackling a topic that always sparks a lot of questions and even a bit of controversy. Why does Islam allow a Muslim to have 4 wives? Yeah, you heard me right, 4 wives. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, we're going to dive into the history, the rules, the wisdom behind it, and how it all fits into modern life. Plus, we'll do some comparisons with other major religions like Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. So, stick around, and trust me, it's not as simple as it sounds. Let's start with a little history lesson. Did you know that before Islam, there were no limits on how many wives a man could have? Yep, it was pretty common for men in many societies, including the Arabian Peninsula, to have multiple wives, sometimes even 10, 20, or more. There were no restrictions whatsoever. Now, when Islam came, it did something revolutionary. It limited the number to 4. That's right, limited it. Islam said, hold up. You can't just go around marrying however many you want. It capped it at 4. The Quran says in Surah An-Nisa, verse 3. Then marry those that please you of other women, 2 or 3 or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry only one. Did you catch that last part? It says if you can't be fair and just with multiple wives, then just stick to one. So, Islam set a clear boundary at 4, and fairness is key. Islam isn't about having many wives just for fun, it's about responsibility and justice. Now, let's compare this to other religions. In Christianity, polygamy was practiced historically. The Bible mentions figures like Abraham and David who had multiple wives. But later, Christianity leaned towards monogamy, especially in the Western world. In Hinduism, the situation was similar. Historically, kings and higher castes often had multiple wives. It wasn't until much later that monogamy became the social norm. Buddhism, on the other hand, is a bit different. It doesn't have specific rules about marriage, but it encourages a life of moderation and simplicity. Monogamy is more commonly practiced in Buddhist cultures, so, while Islam allows up to 4 wives, it's not the only religion where polygamy has existed. The difference is that Islam puts very strict conditions on it, which is something many people don't realize. Now, back to that verse from the Quran. While it permits 4 wives, it also stresses that it's better to have one wife if you can't be fair. The Quran doesn't just say, go ahead and have 4 wives. It's not like, oh yeah, just go collect them like Pokemon cards. Nope, it's serious business. The Quran's main concern is justice. In Surah An-Nisa, verse 129, the Quran actually says, you will never be able to do perfect justice between wives, even if it is your ardent desire. So, the message is clear, justice is hard. That's why having only one wife is often the best option for most people. If you can't provide emotional, financial, and social justice to each wife, then don't do it. And let me tell you, the requirements to have 4 wives are no joke. It's not like you can just decide one day, I think I'll add another one. Nope. You have to be able to provide for each wife equally, financially, emotionally, and socially. Each wife must have her own home, be given the same amount of time and attention, and be treated with absolute fairness. Can you imagine trying to remember 4 anniversaries, 4 birthdays, and meeting all those in-laws? That's next-level multitasking. So, before anyone thinks, wow, 4 wives, that sounds awesome, just know it's a huge responsibility, and very few can meet those strict requirements. Now, why would someone even want to have more than one wife today? In some parts of the world, especially where the female population is larger than the male population, polygamy can be a practical solution. It's also worth mentioning that in some Western societies, where cheating is prevalent and divorce rates are high, Islam's structured approach to multiple marriages can actually serve as a solution. Instead of secret affairs or side relationships, polygamy within Islamic guidelines offers transparency, respect, and legal protection for all parties involved. And hey, if you're someone in a culture where it seems like everyone's cheating, you might even find polygamy less complicated in comparison to some modern dating practices. But again, it's not for everyone. Islam gives this option with very clear guidelines to prevent harm and promote fairness. So, there you have it. Islam allows up to 4 wives, but it's not a free-for-all. It's a system with strict rules and a focus on justice and fairness. It's also important to know that the Quran actually advises one wife if you can't be fair. In the end, it's not about collecting wives like trophies, but rather, it's a structured solution meant to ensure justice in relationships. I hope that cleared up some confusion and answered your questions. What do you think? Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might find it interesting. Until next time. Peace and blessings.